thank you to you and the other hosts. AgentSync, I'm really excited to participate here and meet some of the folks here who are participating with AUGIE. I'll give you a little background on AgentSync first, and actually we can stay on the previous slide for just a moment, and I'll do kind of a high level picture of who we are. So AgentSync, we work with, we're sort of unique in that we work with all of the different players in the US insurance industry. We work with agencies, MGAs, and carriers, and we work with those types of firms of sizes from anywhere between 10 agents to 130,000 producers on the carrier side. And this includes some of the top 20 LNA carriers, P&C carriers, as well as some really innovative agencies that are focused on the core problems that we solve. So what do we do? What does AgentSync do? So often, a lot of the focus is on underwriting and policy issuance and getting products into insured's hands. We actually tackle a very fundamental but different problem that covers the entire US insurance industry, which is, if you don't mind flipping to the next slide now, the fact that across the US insurance landscape, there are 54 different jurisdictions that cover licensing, appointing, and compliance overall. Today, most of the firms that the folks here are representing, that most often happens in a spreadsheet, on a piece of paper, in an old workflow. What AgentSync does is we bring subject matter experts who understand so deeply all the different regulatory permutations that happen across all these jurisdictions and ensure that not only do we understand it, but we capture it in software that helps you automate the onboarding, licensing, and or appointing of all of the producers in your distribution network. So fundamentally at our core, we're about making agencies easier to do business with from an agent perspective, carriers easier to do business with from an onboarding and agency distribution perspective, and connecting the dots between these disparate parts of the US insurance industry. So at the end of the day, we're enabling producers to have the best experience possible and go from zero to ready to sell as quickly as possible. In some cases, we've been able to take the time to appoint on the carrier side from weeks down to days. On the agency side as well, we provide a holistic solution to take a new agent that you're onboarding and get them from zero to contracted in an automated workflow that captures everything that you need to know about them. Now, once they're in the system, our software, layered in with the intelligence that comes from all of the state level regulations, ensures that your admin team can monitor, track, and also transact, actually create resident and non-resident licenses, create appointments on the carrier and MGA side, and basically provide you both with the tooling as well as the dashboards and readouts of everything that's going on in your distribution in a single pane of glass, as we like to say. So we work today with sort of an even distribution of agencies, MGAs, and carriers. We have over 200 customers in the United States. We've been growing very quickly because this is a shared problem, right? This is a problem not only within individual companies, but between companies, and ensuring that you're positioned and have the right data and instrumentation and integrations to be able to onboard and creatively react to changing distribution environment as creatively as you want to. To touch on the slide that we're looking at here, it is, you can think of us as basically like a regulatory sidekick on this side of the fence, right? So thinking about your admin teams, it's simply impossible to keep track of all of the different state level changes that are happening across all the different jurisdictions. So we provide a dashboard with all of those updates and then also bake in all of those different changes into our software. So basically you can't make a mistake. So we really take on that role of empowering your team to focus on value-added activity, sales-facing activity, agent-facing activity, and insured-facing activity, rather than the sort of manual research and button pushing that has often been involved with sort of back-end administrative work in the past. So if we want to talk about data and how we support data growth, if we could flip to the next slide. Our platform, the way that we deliver our platform is actually through what we call a Salesforce application. So don't think Salesforce is CRM. This is actually built with Salesforce code. What that means is that if you've used Salesforce in the past, it's going to be very familiar to you. If you haven't, Salesforce offers an incredible platform that you can easily integrate, not only with the entire universe of Salesforce App Exchange capabilities, but also has built-in APIs to integrate with AMSs, policy admin systems, whatever sort of sources of truth you have around your business. Again, whether it's on the carrier or the agency side. And if you think about how we support growth and acceleration of doing business, it really comes down to this. We're able to collect in an automated flow all of the data that you need about a producer and get them from zero to ready to sell, literally a green light next to them that says, yes, they are licensed and appointed to sell these products in these jurisdictions. We have checked the box on their E&O policy. We have contracted them with a carrier if necessary. And we're handling all of that ongoing activity so that you don't just have a point in time view of that producer, but an ongoing view of what we call a scorecard that shows you exactly, if they want to write business, this type of policy in this jurisdiction, the specific actions that your team needs to take, and then we help you do it to ensure that they are ready and able to sell that policy compliantly. So again, our solution sort of bakes all of what is today often manual processes, emails, spreadsheets, going to the DOI website to see if something's changed, and brings it into one dashboard, one set of capabilities that really up-levels your entire administrative team. And from a growth perspective and acceleration perspective, we're really focused on how we enable the producers to have just the best experience possible, which reflects on you both from a recruiting and a retention perspective. And also, like I mentioned, it also makes you as an agency, if you're on the agency side, really easy to work with. If you want to take an entire view of your agent census with all of their licensing data and package that up and hand it off to a carrier, we deliver that report in one fell swoop. If that carrier happens to be an AgentSync customer, we can actually take that format, import them. They can onboard those producers really, really quickly. So I'll pause there. Claire, if you have any questions or any questions from the audience here.
Question for Cameron. Can an agency use AgentSync without having a Salesforce license of their own?
We get that question a lot. Thanks for asking, Kenneth. That maybe was on a few other people's minds. So you can think of us as like any traditional software as a service solution. So the short answer is no. So we just leverage Salesforce's the platform's capabilities so that we can do two things. Number one, we can build this software that rapidly adapts to the industry and supports the producer experience to help you grow. But number two, Salesforce has built incredible integration rails. I mentioned the app exchange, but also if you are looking to integrate things like background checks, automated E&O verification, e-signature via DocuSign, all of those things are basically plug and play. And so you can actually take components of your existing solutions, your existing workflows, and build them into AgentSync's flows. So the core of it handles all of that admin back work or back office work. And then on the front end, we just leverage Salesforce's Rails and technology and integration capabilities to create those experiences.
Great. We have another question. Could this solution still work with other legacy tech systems?
Absolutely. So we have a saying that we like to socialize internally at AgentSync, which is we need to meet the industry where it is. So we have a lot of tech people. We have a lot of people who've come from startups, including myself, even though I've worked in the industry for about 10 years. But what we know is that you have oftentimes you have embedded systems that are loaded with data that are core workflows that are really, really painful to, you can't just walk in and rip and replace those solutions. So our team and our solutions consulting and delivery team are very familiar with working with legacy systems, partnering with our customers to understand the sort of topology of their technology, and focusing on the pain points that we solve for, while also making sure that the other legacy systems can benefit from the data that we're able to pull. And I think just to be very explicit about that, this effectively eliminates the need for your teams to have to go directly to NIPR to state DOIs. This presents all of that data that's pulled daily in a single dashboard. And so all of those other systems can integrate that data and pull from it and benefit from them. But we know that oftentimes we have to sort of walk before we run in terms of thinking about changing your whole sort of digital landscape.
Okay, we have a clarifying question. Let's see, Cameron said that the short answer was no, which I'm interpreting as no, you can't use AgentSync without Salesforce.
Okay, so let me be really explicit. You do not need to have any relationship with Salesforce whatsoever to use our solution. So we are actually an official reseller of the Salesforce technology. Mark Benioff is even an investor of ours. So we handle the relationship with Salesforce, and we partner partner with them very closely. If you do have Salesforce within your organization, obviously these solutions play really nicely together, but it can be completely standalone and doesn't have any existing relationship with Salesforce as a dependency. Thanks for clarifying, Kenneth.
Okay, good. All right. So Cameron, I'm going to ask one of my own questions. So you talked about the process and making the process of compliance sort of seamless and easy and fast. When we talk about the back end of it, is there reporting that's valuable in that comes back out of it in the form of data, whether it's to the carrier or to the agency or what?
Yeah, so that's something that customers really love, right? So there's sort of two big elements to this, or maybe let's call it three. So we have this sort of industry-facing research and the fact that we eliminate the need to track all of these changes across industry. Number two, there's the tooling, right? So the actual interface where you can view a producer profile, you can see all of this data in one place, see if anything needs to be resolved to get them ready to sell. And then the third element is our reporting capabilities. And the reporting capabilities on the agency side, for example, you can see in dashboards a holistic view of every license, of every appointment that you have across all of your agents. You can use this for competitive intelligence. And of course, this also works on the carrier side. So imagine on the carrier side, being able to look at every appointed agent that you work with and being able to see every other carrier that they're appointed with as well. So all of that data gets surfaced in these dashboards, and you can build your own, of course, using, again, the pretty capable tools that Salesforce provides to build custom reports, export them, build charts, graphs, the whole thing. So all of the data that we have sitting behind the scenes, which is really extensive, can be exposed in a variety of different configurable reports. And we also provide some that are right off the shelf as well.